Megan, what are you doing? It looks a little like magic.
You know what? It's science, which is kind of like magic. Super cute, too. So these toys are solar powered, and I've been charging this guy up. See how he's dancing? This guy, poor guy over here, needs his light source, and as soon as he gets it, then he starts grooving too. So this little demonstration gives us a clue to our first myth. When you have solar panels helping to supply energy to your home, you'll still have power during a power outage. What do you think?
It seems like maybe you should, but I know things are usually more complex than they seem. We actually have a guest here to tell us if this is a bust. Joining us is Jake Rabe from Rabe Hardware. Jake, thanks for joining us.
Certainly, thank you.
So is this a bust?
Well, basically, yes. When it comes to the utility providing power to the home, if that power is cut, the power from the solar has to also cut. It has to stop, because if you're not consuming everything that you're generating, then you're putting that back out on the lines, which would be a liability when the power is supposed to be down.
And that's a safety issue, right?
It certainly is, and part of the National Electric Code.
Okay, so can you briefly explain to us how solar energy is generated, how it's harnessed, and how it's used in a home?
Basically, a solar panel produces DC current. That DC current then is taken to the inverter. The inverter converts it over to usable AC energy like we use in our home for all of our appliances.
And Jake, how do you decide whether a home is a good fit for solar?
Well, it really doesn't matter, Pete, whether you need 6 panels or 60. We all consume energy, and with a solar module, we're just providing the kilowatt hours for anybody's home based on their need.
Now, if there is an outage and the power, to your point, goes out even in a solar-powered home, how do I, as a homeowner, make sure that I have that power contained so that I can use it in an emergency like that?
Well, there's a couple different ways. One's a generator if the power has to be on. The second is a battery. Over my right shoulder is an AC coupled battery, so we're charging it with AC power and discharging it with AC power. In the event of a power outage, your solar panels can still work as long as you have a battery-based system, in that there's a transfer switch that transfers and disconnects the utility so your solar can still work and the excess can go into the battery for later use overnight.
How do you help somebody decide, is it generator or battery storage?
Well, if the power just has to be on, we can't always ensure that we can produce power every single day of the year. Some days we have rain, snow, gray skies in the winter, so we may not be able to produce enough to charge the battery to get through the night. If the power has to be on, then a backup whole home generator is the answer.
Let's talk a little bit about costs if I'm going the battery storage route, and how many batteries do I need?
Well, it kind of comes down to how many kilowatt hours of overnight consumption you need to run your fridge, your freezers, your lights, your TV. One battery basically is 13.6 kilowatt hours of storage. So 3 batteries would be 40 kilowatt hours of storage. Most people go with 2 to 3 batteries, but you can go up to 16.
So going back to that thought of having a power outage, this seems like a really reassuring thing to have in your home. But you only use it when there's an emergency. How do I know that it's actually doing its job and collecting the energy that I want in an emergency?
This particular battery has an indicator light on the right-hand side that's just like your fuel gauge in your automobile. When it's fully charged, it's full level, and as the power is consumed or displaced out of the battery, it drains.
Jake, Jake, what are we talking about in terms of cost for something like this?
A starting price for this battery-based system fully installed, you're looking around $25,000 prior to a 30% federal tax credit.
That's a great investment, though. Yeah, thanks for this great information on solar.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on solar installations and how they might benefit your powerhouse, visit powerhousetv.com.